someone to die. They don't even get a chance to look me in the eye. Most guys don't even get a shot at one and done in me. Didn't even try to, but he spun and won me.
All right, guys, we are in game now. We are in Champ Select, so we're going to be switching over post-haste, and you will see that we are currently taking a look at Epik versus Subterfuge, Team Subterfuge, excuse me. And I am Monte Cristo, and with me is the League of Legends double threat. He's a caster, he's a singer for Area of Defect, he's KDH. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Monty. How are you?
I am fantastic, and you know why I'm fantastic? Because we get to see the first game with the new lineup of Epik. And in fact, they are using the lineup that they will be playing at IPL in a few weeks here. So Mashmi is on there with, I assume he's going to be running AD carry bot lane. We'll see Westress top, Kalaki D in the jungle, Sulsi, of course, in mid lane, and the famous Notwin going bottom as support.
I'm very excited for this game. It's going to be great. Subterfuge with the lineup here, with the coming in here against Epik is going to be something. It's going to be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, and I'll talk about Subterfuge a little bit. I've been watching some of their Go for LOL VODs, getting a feel for the team. You know, they really like to run some poke comps, so I think we might see some of that. We do have Classy, who is an infamous Pantheon jungler. So maybe we're going to see some of that. And I know I was talking to Dan Clayton before the game, and he was saying that he likes to run TF mid with the Pantheon jungle. So I'm wondering if we're going to see that comp, kind of a map teleport gank comp.
We're definitely not going to see TF mid because he's been banned by Epik.
Yes, I think they're onto their tricks. Well. I think they're onto their tricks. And the TF ban, they know their opponents quite well here. And we see Cassiopeia going down as well as Shen and Janna. I have never seen Clacky D play, so I am really interested to see what he goes. Looks like he's going to be jungling Lee Sin. Not a surprising pick there for Clacky in terms of the jungle, and I imagine he'll stay there. Though the great thing about picking Lee Sin first is you can kind of fake out the other team, and if the comp necessitates it, you can also run him top. Same deal with Udyr and Shyvana. Both of those could be used jungle or top lane. Very versatile picks and difficult to counter against.
Now nobody knows where anyone's going at this point. It's still a guessing game.
It is a guessing game indeed. I'm surprised to see that Olaf ban going down. They must know something we don't about the top lane of Pro Styles. Normally King Fluffy is on this team, but he is out for the weekend, so they are using a sub, and that will be Pro Styles. So I haven't seen him play before either, and apparently I was told they just picked him up last night, so I don't even know if they've had a chance to actually use him in game yet. So it'll be exciting to see how well they can do against this new look Epik gamer without Dan Din and without Dyrus.
It's a new Epik and it's a new Subterfuge. We are about to witness something no one has seen yet.
That's right, and it's very exciting. Should give us a little preview of what IPL could be like.
Definitely,
Sulsi taking Ziggs, very nice. I've never actually seen Sulsi play Ziggs before.
I've never seen Ziggs be played in any sort of tournament before.
He's been played quite a bit as of late. Reginald, I know, likes to play him. But Sulsi is, of course, famous for his Vladimir and Kennen play. So
I remember back in the days of DreamHack a while. That was almost a year ago now, wasn't it? But I remember watching Sulsi do Vlad and Kennen in DreamHack, and that was a sight to behold.
And we're going for a very aggressive lane here, bottom with Leona and MF. That's a lane comp that can give you some really nice kills early, but is going to be. And Twitch, is Mashmi seriously playing Twitch this game, or is he just trolling? I hope so too. That would be very exciting if they decided to go that route. Twitch Sona, an interesting combination, not one that I have ever seen before.
I don't remember the last time I've seen Twitch in a game for serious, and if Mashmi is about to do that, I cannot wait to see how this unfolds.
Well, interesting story. At IEM Hanover, there were rumblings from Dignitas, and they kind of said that, it's my understanding that they said that Cutie Pie can only really play Ezreal, Corki, and Twitch, and so if Corki and Ezreal were ever banned or selected in a game, that he actually would have played Twitch in Hanover.
Really?
But we're not going to see it. We're going to see Graves instead with a Surge, so I guess they're trying to counteract some of the aggression in bottom lane by using a relatively aggressive comp of their own, although Sona and Graves do scale better into the late game, generally speaking, than Leona and MF do. And the switch is going around now, so we will see Shyvana in top lane and Ahri jungling? No, they're still switching. Okay. So Shyvana jungling, no surprise there. Udyr top lane, a very safe choice against that Lee Sin. Lee Sin and Udyr are both very...
Lee Sin won't be top. Lee Sin will stay in the jungle. It looks like Westeros will be taking Malphite top.
Very interesting picks, very interesting picks. Both of them are still... You can be aggressive with both Udyr and Malphite due to Malphite's passive and Udyr's turtle stance. You can trade pretty effectively with them, so I think we'll probably see a pretty stagnant game up in top lane with just a bunch of farming and shielding whenever the other champion gets close. Meanwhile, I'm extremely interested to see if Mashmi is going to play Revive Surge Graves, or if he's just trolling us a little bit as we count down.
It looks like he's playing Revive Surge Graves as the countdown ticks. Nope, no, we're being trolled.
Definitely being trolled. Trolling the casters, of course, because we're the only ones who can see that. What a nice guy he is.
I like it. I like a little bit of catch and release here, a little bait and switch.
So we see generally a very aggressive comp from Subterfuge with that Shyvana, with the heavy counter jungling, the aggressive bot lane with Leona and MF, and that mobility and that Ahri brings to the team. Meanwhile, we see I think we'll see a reserved early game from Epik as they try and farm Graves into the late game, and we should see some interesting AoE damage with the Malphite and Ziggs combo.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and the great thing about both of these comps is we're going to see a lot of really interesting CC locking going down, I think. And interesting CC locking is almost an oxymoron. But I think the way that it's going to work out, you're going to have Leona and Malphite and Sona all running around in team fights doing basically the same thing.
Right.
Team. So
right. I think you are absolutely correct about that. And it will be, I think, a lot about getting down into a good position for a team fight. And we also have champions that are very kind of reliant on their ults to do well in battle. Early game with MF, with the Leona ult, late game, it's very critical that she lands that correctly, just as you have to land that Malphite ult, you have to land that Ziggs ult, you have to land that Graves ult very well. So I think between all the dashes and the Lee Sin kicks and the dragon transformation with so much dashing. These are going to be some very dynamic team fights. This should be a very exciting game and difficult game for you, KDH, to do the play-by-play in, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've gotta keep everybody's name straight here in the imminent CF team fight nature that we're going to have going on here.
It's an eminent game as well. We have high.
It's eminent. It's eminent and imminent, as we only have 1 minute on the delay remaining.
So, KDH, why don't you talk a little bit about that music that we were hearing before the game?
That music that you're hearing before the game is by Area of Defect. It is a League of Legends themed hip hop group that I am the frontman for. Me and the rest of my band, The Help, Malicious, and Dante Allegory, are going to be playing at Texas A&M AggieCon next weekend upcoming. We got a whole lot of really exciting tracks coming on the way. We're on YouTube at Area of Defect Music, so you should check that out. We're on Facebook and Twitter as well at Area of Defect. So if you like what you're hearing, check us out. That's the stuff most of the stuff you're hearing is off of our album. We have a League of Legends album called QWER, and we're currently working on a second League of Legends album that has yet to be titled and has yet to be completed, obviously, but will be on its way.
And you should definitely check out their Twitter at Area of Defect, as well as GG Chronicles. We are your #1 source for League of Legends news, coverage, opinion pieces, and pretty much everything LOL. So check us out on Twitter at GG Chronicle, and my Twitter is actually GGC Monte Cristo, and Kyle's is Danger Hennick, HENICK. So we'll get those up on the overlays for you. In the meantime, we have this loading screen, this lovely loading screen going down right now, and I'm just going to take a moment to talk about our sponsor, and without which we couldn't be doing this tournament. So guys, head over to gaming.stackexchange.com. They are running a contest this weekend where you can win a game console of your choice. If you want a PS3 or an Xbox 360 or a Wii, you should head on over there. And the person by March 21st who gets the most upvotes to their question and who gets the most upvotes to their answer, each of those people will be receiving a game console of your choice. So head over, ask some good questions on the site, and answer them if you know the answer. And it's good to go over there because, honestly, like, if you guys want more of these tournaments, they're a really good partner for us, and we would like to keep bringing them to you. But without a sponsor, a lot of these esports events wouldn't happen. So.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. Hit up gaming.stackexchange.com. It's a great site. It's got a lot of really useful information on it. It's really easy to use. It's got a great community, and it's only growing. So definitely check them out.
And we see some pings down here. Blue team looks like they're going to be going into a defensive formation around red buff so that Shyvana can pick that up quickly. Meanwhile,
purple team doing the same thing.
That's what I meant. Purple team doing the same thing for Shyvana, and it looks like they're trying to get that early red buff for Lee Sin as well. Although there is some conflicting pings now. I guess they might have decided to invade, or they might just be concerned about what purple team is doing. So it looks like both teams are just going to take a defensive stance and ward up a little bit to make sure that there isn't any invades early.
Yep, we're seeing blue team ward right there in their jungle. We've got, and now they have vision of the purple team, 3 of which are invading presently, but they're just putting a ward down as well. So if anything happens right here, we're going to know all about it.
Indeed, and looks like there's not going to be much action early. I'm kind of surprised. I would have thought that purple with Leona would have a very strong kind of level 1 team fight that they could probably go for, but I guess they're not going to take that risk.
No, it doesn't look like it. And, you know, honestly, it would be if they took their skills correctly. If you had Ahri's taunt and Udyr's stun and Leona's shield bash or Zenith blade at level 1. But I'm guessing Udyr and Ahri did not take skills such as Udyr already has Tiger Stance. Ahri has, of course, her orb. So it's not. This is not. Oh no, Ahri hasn't chosen a skill yet. But it is. At any rate.
She's saving. She's definitely saving just in case she needs that charm in order to engage at level 1. And I'm surprised to see Udyr taking Tiger Stance first. I guess top lane. That's true.
Yeah, he is top lane, so it's not too much of a surprise. Udyr can really start with anything that he wants.
But just in terms of the level 1 team fight, sometimes you need that bear stance early in order to protect your team if there is an early invade. Shyvana's not going to have any trouble getting the red, and Lee Sin actually going over for blue, moving up from the bush in bottom lane to do that.
I know we have in bot lane Leona warding that tri-bush right away, so giving purple team a nice little bit of early coverage there. They're going to be able to push up and be aggressive like we've been expecting them to do if they like.
That's right, and these wards going down by both supports and Leona coming in.
Leona going in instantaneously. Jumper and Squad 5 looking to get some early action. Sona, Nat Nguyen is already quite low, but it's only level 1. He'll be back up in no time, he thinks.
And so looks like we're having some stream issues right now, and the screen is black, I am told. So let's go ahead and switch over. Not sure what happened there, but there you guys go. Sorry about that for the game.
Oh, we got some early action going on. Lee Sin getting in on Classy in the jungle there. ggClassic taking a lot of damage and an ignite. Ziggs laying down his minefield, and ggClassic is exhausted and ignited, but is able to flash out and get out unscathed.
Yeah,
that was a very bad time for the stream to go down.
The stream was already back up, so don't worry about it. We are good to go. And that was an interesting fight we saw there. Just a little bit of trading, a little bit of back and forth, and we could see that kind of dashing back and forth that is going to make this comp rather interesting for both teams.
Definitely, and both teams really itching to get in on the action. I'm actually really kind of pleased with what's happening so far. Everybody's just got their hand on their trigger finger waiting for first blood to happen.
That's right, and Jumper and Mashme doing a bit of back and forth down in bot lane as both of these short-range AD carries take a little chip off each other, and another engagement going on.
Squad 5 going to get ignited and hit. That's going to be first blood for Mashme, and Jumper is going to have to back out, laying down the grievous wounds to make sure that Graves can't get healed up quite so high by Sona. Unfortunately, Leona's going to go down in that.
Yes, she is, and not much that they were able to do that there. Those wards that are going down are going to be very problematic. So for the supports if there are wards in both bushes. You have to be very careful in that situation. And Westress up at top, looks like we are seeing that kind of passive farm lane. They're dead even in CS right now, so no real advantages. I don't think we're going to see very many jungle ganks up there either, just due to the escapes that both Malphite and slows that they have.
We're seeing Salsi, we're seeing Classy and Dan Keaton going in on Salsi in mid, but unfortunately we missed the charm, so we're not going to see any action there. Meanwhile, Lee Sin coming in on top on Udyr, Westrice and Klykey D looking to get some action there on Pro Styles, but he doesn't seem to be having any of it.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see very aggressive, but we might get Lee Sin's coming in.
Flash down, there's the cripple and the Tempest. Pro Styles is going to flash out, a little bit of a weird pathing thing going on there, and he's going to get dashed to. That's going to be the second kill for blue team. Shyvana's going to have to go back around. Really well done by Lee Sin there and Malphite. So we're looking at 2-0 the score right now, and a lead of about 1.3k.
And I'm wondering, well, it looks like Klykey D is just going to go and do a little bit of counter jungling while Shyvana is tied up at top turret. Meanwhile, Ziggs pushing this lane very, very hard. He's leaving himself vulnerable for this Udyr if he were to come back in and attempt a gank, but it looks like he feels confident that he is not going to be able to get counter jungled with that Lee Sin, or counter ganked rather, with that Lee Sin in the jungle up by Race, seeing so that he will not be able to, Udyr will not be able to come around and take him out.
Yeah, you know, the irony of Lee Sin providing an extra pair of eyes for Ziggs is pretty
Is it overwhelming?
But it is doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
That's right, and we have some more warding. Looks like we got a ward at Dragon right there from Purple Team, or a ward right at the corner of Dragon Pit. Both teams have eyes on that lane to prevent those ganks, so no surprises there. And I don't think we're going to see a Dragon probably for a little bit at this stage. Mashmi's going to go ahead and take out some golems just for a little extra gold and XP.
It's going to be. I can feel that everyone is just really tense right now. You can see it in the way these players are sort of dancing back and forth, just waiting for something to happen.
And this Ahri actually significantly behind, in CS to this Ziggs. He is Salsi's about 15 CS up right now, which for 6.5 minutes into the game is a very large difference. You're talking about a little more than a kill's worth of gold.
And we have some interesting movement going on for bot lane. We have Lee Sin and Shyvana both coming in for ganks, unbeknownst to both teams. Here we have Klykey D jumping in. He's going to get the tag off on Jumper and force her out of the fight. Meanwhile, Mashmi is exhausted. Sona in there. We have Classy and Squad 9. Jumper went back in and had to flash out. We're going to have Classy take out Graves with their... Jumper just barely makes it out. Klykey D taking out Squad 5. We have Ahri coming down, getting that win, and we're going to have Klykey D taken out by Classy as well. Jumper providing an excellent little bit of bait and distraction there. As you see, he's super low. And Ziggs going to come in and clean that up with the bomb.
What an ult there by Salsi. Good pings from his team to let him know where MF was blue pilling out. I don't think that Jumper thought that through properly. He should have moved a little bit further back, clearly, in order to avoid that ult, considering that, you know, he had just finished with that low of HP. Sometimes you just make those little mistakes thinking that you're safe, and then all of a sudden a global ult comes and smacks you.
Oh, that was something to watch. We have Classy and Westrice in the jungle now. Westrice saying, "I'm going to take these. Actually, yep, these are mine. I want these wraiths." So he's going to.
And a very good engage there. Salsi not following the Ahri down into that lane, and that turned out rather disastrously with that Ahri getting a kill and an assist. So coming back in, even though she is still a little bit down in CS.
Well, and it worked out too. I mean, Ziggs, obviously you saw that there, Salsi picking up the kill on Jumper there as she tried to port back. Having that global ulti really makes it easy for him to not have to come engage from a lane down or a lane up if he doesn't want to.
That's right. That's right, and pretty much all these lanes are very close in CS. You know, we only have a 600 gold difference right now. Game is still very much up in the air, and we will see how this progresses. I'm intrigued that there hasn't been a dragon fight going down yet, especially after all that cleanup in bot lane.
Well, it was a cleanup for both sides, so I'm not really surprised that nothing happened after that. Although I was certainly expecting Dragon to. I didn't expect both teams to get wiped in that engagement, I guess, and I was expecting a Dragon to happen following that engagement.
Yes, I completely agree. And looks like Ari's going to go ahead and get that blue buff while Lee Sin picks up his own red. So we're just going back to a passive mode here. While again, Mashmi and Nat Nguyen are going to take out those golems. They've been taking them out pretty much every time they respawn in this bot lane. And Lee Sin has been counter jungling and just hitting the other parts of the jungle in order to make up for that gold and XP loss. They know Siobhan is coming down. They had a ward up here near mid lane at the bottom side of river, and so this isn't going to be any kind of surprise. They also have one in Tribush, so she's not going to be able to do much, I don't think, as Nat Nguyen and Mashby are going to hang back towards the turret. Westress pushing this lane very hard up the top, using that ground slam to really do a lot of damage to these minions.
And he's not taking any damage either, you know, and even though Tiger Stance proc is magic damage, that shield really just helps him. Look at him, just getting in there, taking the minions out, throwing Qs down on Udyr, just not, in general, not really caring about what happens in top lane.
And they know that Clacky D, Purple Team knows that Clacky D is in their jungle, and they're not going to collapse on him, it doesn't look like. They're just waiting to see where he comes out. Siobhan is just going to go ahead and take those wraiths while they continue to look for people in the jungle. Oh,
yeah.
Close resolution strike there.
Shyvana picking up that early oracles as well. It's it's 10 minutes on the timer for us. Is that delayed? Because I think this is it seems shorter than that. We're gonna see Clacky D and Classy get into a little tussle here in the jungle. He's gonna punch her a bunch. She's gonna do her burnout, and she's gonna go back in after he misses the Q. So even though he has red buff, he's gonna be forced to run away. Leona's walking around, as is Pro Styles. We're gonna have a Purple Team sandwich with some Lee Sin in the middle here in a few seconds.
That's a very dangerous play by Lee Sin, especially since Leona had gone back, but I guess they're not interested in looking for him. And instead,
there it is. We're gonna have Dan Keaton get the taunt off. He's gonna kick and dash. What an interesting display of mobility there by Clacky D. We have Malphite coming in. Westrar is not quite able to land the ultimate. He's gonna get taunted, and we're gonna see the minefield go down by Salsi. He's gonna get jumped in the bush by 3 members of Purple Team. We have Leona going in. There's the Ziggs bomb. Clacky D is gonna pick up Classy, but Udyr is going to pick up Salsi. So we're going to have, and Westrice is stuck in the middle. We have and Lee Sin's dashing, and we have Leona ultimate going down. We're going to get Lee Sin picking up Udyr, Sona picking up Leona, Ari picking up Malphite, the Sona ultimate going down on Ari. Lee Sin also getting that kill as MF wanders in, followed by Graves. MF is all alone, and I think she might go down. Nope, she's going to make it out just barely after Ignite Graves ultimate, and the Lee Sin kick, or the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike comes down. So, a very interesting engagement with Blue Team coming out on top.
And wow, what a fight there. This game with these champion picks is just turning into a bloodbath. There's almost no way to escape from a fight in this one once you enter it.
Yeah, these fights are one way. We see Blue Team picking up Dragon now. But Classy's going to come in and attempt to steal, maybe? No, she's just going to hang out at the edge. She tried to steal, didn't quite get the smite on, and we're going to see everyone back out.
That's right. Epik now taking a pretty commanding 3,000 gold lead. Certainly the game's not over, but that went extremely in favor of Epik. Salsi's death was a little bit unfortunate. He got caught in the middle there as a caster in a team fight, so he did manage to get that bomb down, his ult, on himself pretty much while everyone was surrounding him, and that just did a ton of AoE damage, not area of defect damage.
It did do a ton of AoD damage as well. Oh man, what this so far it's just been back and forth, and I think we were pretty right on noticing that once fights start, they just don't stop until either everyone is dead or almost everyone is dead.
Well, they just have so many dashes and mobility skills that it's, you know, you would think that, again, if either of these teams were against a team that didn't have them, they'd find it very easy to get out. But once you start the fight, the other team's just going to use all their mobility skills to catch up to your mobility skills, and it's just impossible to leave. You kind of just have to go full bore into these fights. And that's why we're seeing a lot of kills in this game, a kill a minute, pretty much.
Yeah, it was really nice watching that play up in this general area of Purple Team's jungle when Clacky D kicked. Lee Sin kicked. I don't remember quite who it was. It might have been Udyr, or it might have even been Salsi over the wall here, and then dashed. Or no, it wasn't Salsi. Salsi's on his team, but he kicked him over the wall and dashed to Salsi after he had laid his minefield down to get back into the team fight. There's some really interesting uses of skills going on.
Yeah, and also Salsi, you can see that he is up over 40 CS. He's 45 CS
Wow.
up now on Ahri. And you can tell from the gold differential, Ahri at 3,600 and Ziggs at 4,500. He has his needlessly large rod already, so he's in a pretty commanding situation right now, and that's what you can expect from Salsi. You know, he is such a talented player. Probably if he wasn't in high school and able to practice full-time, it's my opinion that he would be arguably the best AP player in the world. I mean, he has an enormously high skill ceiling and performs at an astounding level while still in school, while not having as much practice time as some of the other pro teams.
We're going to see Classy get jumped here on the top by his back turret. We get the Malphite ult, Lee Sin kick going down. Classy's going to jump and go into Dragon form. Ahri comes in, Westrice is going to go down, and we're going to see Clacky D have a little bit of a tussle with Dan Keaton here. The Ziggs ultimate throwing into mid, and it looks like Clacky D is going to... Oh, Leona's coming around, so he might not quite get away like he wanted to. Leona gets him there. We have Jumper coming in, making it rain. We got the double up going up. Lee Sin jumps over the wall, and I'm not quite sure if he's going to manage to get away. It looks like he is, with Salsi coming in to assist if he needs to, barely getting out of that fight.
That was a close one, and we saw Mash Me going down at bot turret there too. He was a little bit overextended and got caught underneath turret and went down quite quickly. I mean, Epik can't rest on their laurels at this point. It is still a very close game, and those kind of deep dives can hurt you if you're already ahead. It's a way to get back in behind.
Apparently he DC'd is what's been going on there.
That makes a lot of sense. I was surprised to see him under turret like that. Very unfortunate disconnect.
Definitely. I saw that in the all chat and was wondering myself, but it looks like he is back now. That was an unfortunate time for him to have DC'd.
Yeah, and it's probably the worst time, really, for him to have DC'd right under your opponent's turret, and so there wasn't much he could do. He did get stun locked a bit by Leona, excuse me, so it was hard to tell if he DC'd or not.
Leona, let that be a lesson. Leona makes you DC.
Or at least give you the appearance of DC, because who can tell if you're DCing if you're Leona stunned?
Exactly, exactly. Well, I mean, let's take a look at this. You were mentioning earlier that Salsi was drastically ahead of Darren Clayton in the mid lane, and right now it's 152 to 94 CS. Meanwhile, bot lane, Graves at 111, Misfortune at 106, so despite his DC, he's still a little bit ahead. So bot lane is a little tighter than mid, certainly, and top is, as you have said earlier, pretty much dead even. But we have Shyvana coming in. Nope, looks like she was spotted by Malphite, so she's not going to go in top lane.
A summoner has disconnected.
Oh, and Mashby looks like he's out of this game again. I'm not really sure what's going on with his internet connection right now. This is very unfortunate.
I'm not. He seemed fine earlier. I'm wondering where he is playing from.
Always a relevant question. And Lee Sin doing a little bit of counter jungling right here. And also, you know, I want to talk a little bit about this Ziggs Ahri matchup. Salsi's been doing a wonderful job in mid lane of cleverly placing those Hextech minefields, and that makes it very difficult for Ahri to come in and get her spells off on Ziggs. So we're seeing a really nice counter here. It's one of those things where if you zone her properly, you can continue to farm with your bouncing bombs effectively because you're not going to be poked and harassed by that Ahri as long as you position yourself very well in relation to your minefields.
Yeah, and you know that's one of the things. Ziggs super good at zone control as he was designed to do, and when playing against Ahri, it's always such a pain to have to get up in there and watch yourself just take so much damage because she's running around and throwing her spells out and just causing you so much pain. It's really nice as Ziggs to be able to sit back and not have to worry about that.
Let's talk about what's about to go down here on Dragon. Both
Certainly.
teams know what's going on. They have eyes on it. They are setting up. Blue team, Epik, setting up in a kind of pincher maneuver, and they're going to... Subterfuge will just pink ward Dragon, and they don't see Epic's ward at the back. And Lee Sin with Oracle just going to take out a ward in that bush, but he is not going to dare to venture close to the mouth of the Dragon Cavern for fear of getting killed by the still surrounding members of Subterfuge.
For fear of everyone. We're seeing Nat and Win get caught by a Leona combo, as is Mashme. We have Classy and Jumper hot on the trail. We're seeing the Sona ult go down to save both of their lives. but that is going to make a dragon fight much easier and more favorable for purple team should they decide to engage.
Yeah, I think that they should probably just take Dragon right now. I don't think that there's much that blue team's going to be able to do, considering they just took a lot of damage from those pokes. I think we can expect Subterfuge to try and force a fight here, and they are hiding in those bushes. Epik has no idea. They're going to try and go for this Dragon. They've healed up from the Vamp Scepter and heals from Sona, so they're in a little bit better situation now.
There's a whole bunch of spells going down from Dan Clayton, but nothing is going to land, and we're going to see blue team, after having taken that pink ward out, Epik just basically doing Dragon right now. We're going to see possibly an engage. Wow, that's a lot of damage going down from Zig's combo. That's a lot of damage. We're going to see Leona take a bunch of damage going out, trying to make it out with her life as she's being chased by Graves. And in the midst of all of this, we're going to see ProStyle pick up a turret. Mashme just running in there, hoping to get off that last bit of buckshot, but not quite managing to hit Leona. And that was really unfortunate for Subterfuge, as they're forced to give up Dragon and their own blue buff.
Yeah, and I think what really caused why Subterfuge was so tentative there, I don't know if you noticed, but Westeros' Malphite actually blue-pilled just probably 10-15 seconds before that fight started, but he waited in base for a little bit and was trying to see what was going on, but Subterfuge must have been afraid that he was heading straight to Dragon, and eventually Westeros again left base and showed himself in top lane. So that little bit of confusion that they caused, I think, really helped them, because Subterfuge was so...
We got ProStyles getting gone on the red buff on purple side. Lee Sin jumping around, flashing, dashing into him, but we have the rest of purple team there ready to help out. Lee Sin is able to dash back over the wall to get to red buff, and Dan Clayton is going to actually end up picking up Clacky D in the scuffle. We're going to see Ziggs putting down a lot of damage. He's going to be exhausted. Classy is ignited and is going to go down to Westeros. We see Ziggs and Westeros both. Dan Clayton trying to pick up that last kill with his Foxfire. Not going to be able to get it. He will get Westeros, however. And we see Leona coming out Squad 9, Udyr ProStyles coming out with very little health, but ultimately a pretty good trade there for purple team.
Yeah, and even so, you know, Salsy's farm is really the story of this game. He's already up at almost 200 by 20 minutes. That is amazing farm. Amazing job by him on Ziggs. And that's going to be a big part of that, you know, still 3k gold, nearly 3k gold difference that Epik has, in addition to their ability to control that dragon pretty well.
Definitely. Well, they've gotten both of the dragons thus far in this game. We see Jumper ulting the minion wave bottom just to clean that up.
Well, make sure that she can, you know, hold that turret by herself. It is getting rather low.
It is, and no team is quite ready to give up the turret yet. We noticed ProStyle's already taken top turret, which is just going to be that that Westeros is going to be able to roam around and farm as he pleases now that his turret is down.
And Clacky D taking an early Aegis of the Legion, and that's a build that we saw on Jungle Lee Sin a lot from M5 at Hanover, and it would prove very effective, and it might... You know, it might be the critical difference in those team fights. I mean, we saw how low some of these Epik players have been at the end of some of those team fights, like Ziggs in that last battle. And without that Aegis, he probably would have died. So you can see how critical it can be in these very tense situations. And it's just a great item to have on any champion, but especially on your jungler or support.
Well, and Lee also able to make sure that Aegis buff stays on his team no matter where they end up at, considering he can just be all over the map whenever he wants. As we've noticed in these last couple of team fights, he's covered more square map footage than I think any other champion.
And Subterfuge is going to give up the top turret at this point. They are not going to be able to hold that with just that Udyr, and it'll be another 1,000 gold up or so for Epik Gamer.
Yeah, definitely. Epik still managing to hold on to that lead, keeping their marginal advantage. And we see some pings going down towards Baron and Wraith. I'm not entirely sure what. I think Epik might want to try for Baron at this point.
I think they are, and with two champions, with MF and Leona in bot lane, they have to kill it quick, but they might be able to get it. We're going to see a good team fight here regardless.
Yeah, we have Dan Clayton coming in, landing the taunt on a couple of spells on Mashme. We have ProStyles coming in from the top. Sona is there in that win, ready to support his team. We have Classy on one side. ProStyles is going to get tagged, and it looks like Epik is going to have to back off for fear of getting jumped on top of Baron by the rest of Purple Team.
Yeah, it's too bad. They don't have the damage yet to do it quick enough to take advantage of the fact that MF and Leona were both bot lane. It was a good idea, but smart of them to back off when they did before they got caught in a really nasty situation.
Really well done by Subterfuge too. Knowing that everyone was gone, knowing that everyone's at Baron, we need to get there quick, and stopping that from happening.
Yeah, buying enough time for MF and Leona to get back up top. Good decisions by both teams.
Yeah, definitely. But now we see a push going on here on this turret. We have Subterfuge in a kind of an awkward position as we got Westrise coming in from behind trying to get an initiate with that ultimate, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get it. Zig's just throwing bombs after bombs after bombs, and we see a fallback ping by Classy saying, guys, let's just get out of here before something really bad happens, and it looks like they're just going to give up their middle turret.
Yeah, indeed, and Epik doing a hard push here, even without that Baron buff. The Subterfuge is having a difficult time stopping this.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to go in on something or they're going to lose an inhibitor. We see a Leona ultimate going down. Malphite, Sona, Ziggs, everything's just happening. We're seeing a lot of damage going out. And Mashme, after that Ziggs ult, is just going to pick up a triple kill going down here. We have Jumper ignited. Mashme dashing in after, not ready to say no to that. Natwin's picking up Dan Clayton. It looks like an ace for Epik, almost.
And again, yeah, I'd like
to get out after killing Mashme.
I'd like to point out again that Salsi only he had 100 or less life left in that battle, so that Aegis of the Legion just paying off in dividends for Epik.
Definitely, that fight was so much damage. And so much AoE, so difficult to keep track of exactly who is doing what, but in the end, Epik comes out on top and is now 5k ahead.
That's right, and you know what, KDH, you'd have to have 3 mouths to do the play-by-play on a fight like that with all those skills going down at once.
Yeah, yes, been working on the plastic surgery appointment for that. not sure if it's going to happen fast enough, but look at it this way, I can cast these team fights and do 4 concerts at the same time.
That's pretty good. We'll just have to go with your 1 big mouth in the meantime.
Here we go. Let's see. We have Subterfuge taking their first dragon of the game now. After that, a pretty smart move considering they know everyone is back. That cuts the gold lead to a little less than 6k now, as we have everyone again moving towards Baron.
Yeah, no surprise there. And Salsi currently topping out the gold charts with 9,200 gold compared to Ari's 7,800, so he's going to have a lot more items. Malphite getting that Frozen Heart to deal a bit with MF and that Shyvana as they and the Udyr as well as they get in close. Should slow their attack speed down a little bit and nullify some of the advantage that Udyr gets from that Tiger stance.
We see a lot of tentative nervous action here. Pro Styles going in on the Salsi, who just satchel charges over the wall. Really nice use of that skill there. As we see Wraiths being taken, Subterfuge just really looking to catch someone out of position. There's Leona ultimate going down on Salsi. We're going to see a lot of ultimate Sona, Malphite going down. There's the Ziggs ulti, Westrise picking up Jumper, and Salsi picking up Pro Styles, as well as Natwin picking up Classy, and Dan Clayton is trying to get over the wall. He's going to make it, but Mashme, I might have DC'd twice, but I am not letting you get out of this team fight, says Mashme. And here we go. They're pushing top lane with no one down on Epik and 3 people down for Subterfuge.
And Graves getting pretty stacked there with that IE and Zeal. He is a terror, to be sure. And MF opting instead for the IE and an early Regal's Lantern for that armor and farming against Graves' Buckshot.
And I think that, I don't know if that's it exactly, but one of the things that's making it difficult for that Graves MF matchup, Leona's ignited and has a lot of stuff she's going to have to back off, and Epik just taking turrets as they please at this point. Well, I definitely think they're going to walk off, maybe even attempt a Baron right now.
They'll take that red buff first and then might give the Baron the old college try, considering they have an inhibitor down. But they are pretty low. We're going to see some engagement here.
That Ziggs ultimate doing a lot of damage. Oh man, Lee Sin and Ziggs, what a combo there to take Classy out. Really well played. Jumper having to get out of that fight. Meanwhile, we have Salsi going on Pro Style and Dan Clayton. We're going to see the Leona ultimate go down to try and save something. Salsi taking out Pro Styles. Lee Sin just jumping everywhere. Westrise is going to is finally going to manage to take down Jumper. And everyone, Mashme getting Leona. That chase it's just, and an ace there. I mean, the team fight split off in so many directions, I couldn't even tell which part to focus on.
And all those dashes making this high mobility comp for both teams and really fun to watch.
Oh man, these team fights are insane. I don't remember the last time I've seen something like this. This is just really great. Everyone jumping back and forth. Epik just pushing right into Subterfuge's base and just ending it. That's GG in game 1 of this best of 3. Epik 21-11. Saxy throwing the ultimate to blow up the Nexus. What an event. What a first game.
Very fun, very close up until the end there. Those team fights really doing the job for Epic Gamer. They got some very nice positioning and great work by both teams in order to take those games. So I'm going to put on some music real quick, and I will be back with you again. I am Monte Cristo. He is KDH, and we're going to listen to some Area of Defect.
Oh, yes, we are.
Time to log in. Most guys got a girl that they can call they one and only. And other guys got tons of ladies just a waiting they call, they ain't never lonely. Man, I don't got either, but I'm doing alright, no sir, I'm not ashamed. I don't gotta buy any shouty or drink, I run a different kind of game. The best part of this game is that when I'm feeling lonely I can log in. While some other guys are lifting weights at the gym and going jogging, yeah. I got a bunch of pretty ladies waiting at my fingertips, and all I gotta do is choose. They all know how to treat me right as long as I'm with them. Even if I don't win, I still don't lose. You're all so beautiful. Oh.